once again, Democrats achieve the least they can do. And that is exactly the point. But, we can have a discussion about what might have happened that could have been better, what didn't happen. Again, I've got a complete outline of all the things that took place today. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, there is a reason why nothing gets done. There is a reason why we don't get anywhere. There's a reason why the Republicans play the bad guys and the Democrats are supposed to look like the innocent good guys. And all the while, this entire cycle just repeats itself, where ultimately it's all about the fact that corporate special interests have captured our government. That is why you don't have health care. That's why you don't have a living wage. That's why you have no climate bill. That is, to even suggest that a climate bill that increases onshore and offshore drilling is a climate bill is insane. And of course, the only people who are going to say that this is a good bill are people who will never have to worry about a drilling well in their backyard. These are punditry individuals who live, let's be honest, a lot of people may not know this, but what is I'm forgetting. I know Fairfax County, Virginia. Arlington County, Virginia, and then there's the county that's in southern Maryland that I'm slipping on the name right now. The one where Chevy Chase and all those wealthy communities are. But the point is, this is where all of the DC pundit class live. They all live in these extremely insulated, wealthy enclaves. And they don't have a care in the world about what's really going on out in this country.
So do you want to go like line by line? Like, do you have, I know there was stuff about insulin prices and drug prices, but it's all crumbs and it's all obviously just sort of like a little too little, a little too late, and basically just tokenism that they think will be sufficient to carry them through the midterms. And it's just pitiful. And anybody who is championing this, like it's some great win, you've got battered spouse syndrome. You've got battered spouse syndrome, people. There's no win here. And here's how I know it's not a win. This is what I was just telling Peter. So my husband said, the Senate passed a bill about lowering drug prices. And I looked at him and I'm like, if this Senate passed that bill, it's not helping anybody but themselves. So I don't even have to know the details to know that it will only help themselves, and they all are whores to big pharma. So it's not going to help us.
I definitely concur. It's like the message we put out that got Tony. Jen is currently in Boston, and I am in the studio. Jen and I are like two ships passing in the night.
We will be back together when? When is our first show when
Monday.
I'm back here? Monday.
Next Monday.
Okay.
So not tomorrow, the following Monday.
Yeah,
so guys, if you're watching,
we'll both be.
Yeah, if you guys are watching on Facebook or Twitter or Twitch, get over to YouTube if you can. Smash that like button, share everywhere that you can. We talked today about how Bernie gives a damn, and that's really what it's about. Bernie cares about our drinking water, cares about the child tax credit, which is what he was trying to get reconciled into the bill today, as well as the expansion of hearing. I believe dental and vision he was trying to get that, but was going to settle for just hearing. If we could have at least gotten something, that would have been a significant thing. And then all the while, anybody ever wants to talk about today is how, and this is the thing where more than anything else, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a class war. That's all this is. Because the people who are dancing on Bernie's grave, if you will, like, you see, he didn't get anything. Oh, what a loser. Every other senator voted against this. Could you imagine simping for senators? This is just amazing how you just don't get it. But the truth is, we do get it. The people who spend all their time on social media, they kind of have time on their hands to begin with. So the fact that they're so much more concerned about dunking on Bernie and not dunking on the fact that the Democratic Party, led by Senator Schumer, have no spine. They're not willing to really dig their heels in and get a win for working people. Tell me where the win for working people is in this bill. I want to know where it is. Just tell me, because I'm willing to listen.
Well, I just think it's so pitiful. Like, we're sitting here and we're talking about people celebrating that Bernie was unable to help people. And the fact that people, well, this is no different than, remember when like Debbie referred to Chantel winning as a mitzvah? Like somehow it's good to screw regular people, and they're celebrating that. And the fact that we're even debating, should it include vision? What about ears? What about dental? Is it for only old people? This is ridiculous. Like, it's just so ridiculous. I can't even believe that people are accepting this with a straight face.
I think when you are, like you said, battered down as much as we are, I think that that's really the big issue here. And so one of the good reporters, Sahil Kupar, who works for NBC, pointed out very pointedly the things that were not included in this bill that initially were supposed to be included in this bill. Universal pre-K is out. So if you're concerned about whether or not working class people have enough money to send their kids off to get a decent education, yeah, that's out. So forget that.
More important than that is that's one less year that working people have childcare. And that's the real problem. I mean, I'm not really overly concerned with the pre-K education in the grand scheme of the universe, but what it is it's respite for working people that can't afford private preschool and have to go to work. So that's the real issue. It's no different than like doing paid family leave. This is something that helps working people.
Child tax credits out. Even though that was not supposed to expire, and Joe said he would do something about it, and of course he did nothing about it, and neither will any of the, and again, why would the child tax credit expire? Simple, because it doesn't work in concert with corporate special interests. You know, I've talked many a times about how there is a difference between a social safety net and a welfare state. A social safety net is like a trampoline, and a welfare state is like quicksand. The goal of our government, even the GOP, is to have as big a welfare state as possible because they want people dependent on the system. So when you get just a little victory, just a little something, it's like catnip, and that'll be enough to satisfy you for a while. So that's really the whole idea. But the fact that they couldn't even do that is crazy. Elder care money out. I mean, hell, Bernie running for president twice was talking about expanding Social Security, which we should. And we have our MMT, our comrades, if you will, that, talk about the fact that we have the capability of merely just expanding it based on currency production. But there's also something to be said for the fact that we have a massive wealth gap in this country, resulting primarily in the reduction of the top marginal tax rate not being anywhere near where it should be. So if we did something as simple as lifted the cap on taxable income on Social Security, that would make it solvent for generations to come.
That's the obvious answer. That's
Correct.
The obvious answer. It's not even complicated.
There's nothing for housing. And we are literally living in a housing crisis right now. People, they're trying to convince you that it's okay to live in a commune, basically, that you should live in a home with a dozen other people. We see these stories in places like New York City, and I've seen them, where people that are trying to make it in the Big Apple will rent out a big brownstone, if you will, that'll cost anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 a month to rent it. But what you'll have is about 8 to 10 people living in the dwelling. And that is the ultimate goal of the last bastion of the capitalist system, if you will. It's this idea of a complete serfs class where people have to live like sardines. And the idea that anyone's okay with that is crazy. I know I wouldn't be.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.